Well, here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. Unironically, there would probably be less YouTubers if these individuals didn't exist. And by these individuals, I mean senior narrative designers. Let's put it like that. For modern audiences, trademark. It is such a line at this point. You know, it's such a red flag when I hear the word for modern audience that I go out of my way not to watch the thing. Because watching the thing costs money, and we live in difficult times because of Bidenomics, something that probably the same individual supported, that I literally just can't afford to throw money everywhere and watch everything, right? So I need to be very selective of the stuff that I watch. So when I see that it's for a modern audience, then it's not for me, because I am the traditional audience, you know. I am an audience that champions diversity. I like to watch Japanese stuff. I like to watch anime. And give money for actual diversity. Why would I support this? I don't want to support this. But it's also the fact that I want to help these people out, you know, like they also love diversity as much as I do. And I want them to have diversity behind the television set, right? And I know that they're struggling really hard so that behind the scenes they race swap and gender swap everything that they can get their hands on. And I want to help them race swap the audience as well. You know, I want to help them in front of the screen, that they would also have a diverse audience. So me not watching reduces the percentage of white people that don't watch, which in exchange increases the percentage of minorities that do watch. Right, so this is how I'm helping them out. But all jokes aside, oh my god, why would you want to even make Indiana Jones for a modern audience? Like, the character can't even exist in modern times. This is a character that is dead before modern times. Do you think George Lucas, like, this is what George Lucas was doing? It's like, I got this really great concept, but how can I make it for a modern audience? How can I make it for modern time? Current daying your stories is something awful. Like when I'm making my video game right now, I have been advised by all my writers to stay away from current daying. And there's multiple reasons for it. Like imagine if when Warcraft 3 came out, or actually no, better yet, StarCraft 2. When StarCraft 2 came out, dubstep was popular. Imagine if StarCraft 2 had dubstep in it. How would it age? How would you view it from today's lens? And the answer is atrocious. Well, what if someone put Nyan Cat or Rafflecopter references in their movie or video game? How would that translate? And the answer is poorly. You don't want to make something for a modern audience. If you make something for a modern audience, it doesn't have any replayability, and it will never become a classic. Mozart wasn't making songs for a modern audience, even though he talked about Luc Ménage. It's just, oh god. And the thing is, like, Indiana Jones can't even fucking work today. It can't. The whole premise is that he is going to explore forgotten temples. That there are no more forgotten temples in 2024. Every single forgotten temple has a Starbucks next to it, and you can find it on a GPS on Google Maps. There is no more mystery. And people are a lot more critical now. Like back in the day when I watched Indiana Jones and you have like that boulder scene, right? When you first see it, you don't really think about it. But nowadays I would be like, well, hold on a little bit. Like, you're telling me that these people had the technology to create something so intricate that withstood the test of time for 1,000 years? Like, none of the vines that created the trap managed to snap. Nothing aged, right? Because now people are more educated due to the internet. Like we know how things work, and you can pause and you can watch it frame by frame. A thing like Indiana Jones just doesn't work, right? Now, if you wanted to make it for a modern audience, I think like there would be a way where you have like the setting being in the future, like a treasure planet type of thing, and you have like the person just exploring planets and going somewhere and finding an ancient tomb on a faraway world. Or exploring like the husk of an ancient ship. Like, yeah, you can make that, and that would actually be great, but they don't want to fucking do it because it would require originality, and it would require for them to actually create a new universe, and these people only know their LGBTs and they do not know their ABCs. Because that's what America teaches people in schools. Look, I understand the LGBTs are crucial, paramount, and incredibly important to live in a society. But learn your ABCs as well, so maybe you can write something that's coherent and stop using old IPs as a crutch. That's another red flag, by the way. When I see an old IP being reused, I'm like, I'm not going to watch it. Why? It's like, look, if unless the writer shows me that they can at least attempt to create something out of their own ass and not have to rely on other people's work, then maybe I will give it a chance. But when the first thing that you're saying, yeah, so I took this IP from someone else, and I'm now trying to inject my mother shit, it's like, well, why don't you just create your mother shit then? Why do you need like someone else's work to inject your mother stuff into it? It's like, oh God, it is what it is, right? And when they say modern audience, right? Again, they do not mean like how can we have like Indiana Jones, and the whole thing with like modern audience, right? Like what does it mean? It means injecting woke politics in it. That's how it means. Like, how can we make Indiana Jones woke? And the answer is like, well, why does it have to be Indiana Jones? Why can't we put a woman in his place, right? Why can't we have someone hyper competent that is far better than the Indiana Jones, and we just do a bait and switch? That's what they're trying to accomplish. And by the way, you know, like the problem is that the fans that like Indiana Jones, they're not going to get him. And by the way, like, one of the big issues is that most modern writers, they just do not understand the human element. Like they just can't fathom to grasp it, because at the universities they were told a very anti-human ideology. So they literally believe that a situation like in Star Wars where Han Solo kisses Leia without her consent, and he does it because of their body language and because it's obviously that she's in love with him. They think that is rape. They think that is offensive. Now, what's interesting is that most of the women who like Star Wars are also in love with Han Solo, right? And that's why Harrison Ford was such a popular actor, because women were salivating at him. But they're told by the university academia that no, actually Han Solo is a misogynistic rape apologist pig. And you shouldn't write like that. So literally the thing that makes the character likable, like the thing that makes the character desirable, they're told to remove it from the writing. And that's what making it for a modern audience means. I had many women, some of them my girlfriends, some of them relatives, that liked Harrison Ford. And they would go out of their way to see Harrison Ford in a movie. And part of the reason was to see him shirtless, was to see him do badass stuff. That's what attracted women to these IPs. When you take Harrison Ford, which is now an old man that can barely hold a whip, that's not going to get women to see it. That's elderly abuse. Why can't you just make a new IP where you cast another man in his prime? Just find a person that's muscular, just find a person that's convincing, and have him do the stuff. Why do you constantly have to rely on actors who are supposed to be at home now resting with their grandchildren? Like, it's okay for people to retire. It's not a problem. And my God, with the coming of the AI, you're going to see their faces for the next thousands of years. There's going to be people going like, why do I see this guy's face everywhere? And they'll be like, I don't know. But who was he? We've no idea. We've no idea, like, where was the first movie he came from. But, like, everyone is using this face, so we're using it as well. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if corporations do this, especially Disney. It's like, oh, you want to be an actor in our film? Like, sure, we'll hire you, but we need permission to use your face for future projects. Like, you need to give us consent to use your voice, your likeness, and everything else for future projects, because otherwise, we're not hiring you. It's going to happen. I mean, they already did it with Leia, right? So, what's to stop them from keep doing it? Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.